Okay, this is going to be a little two-part video here. So one thing that I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to do a trade recap of today's trade. The second thing I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to explain a question that was asked to me. What does it mean when it says buys above and sells below? Like, what is the criteria behind entering into the trade? And so the reason I want to do both of these together is because I think that explaining, what buys above and what sells below means, while explaining how I took this entry, how I manage my risk, etc., will go hand in hand. So with that said, we'll start out with, kind of the buys above and sells below. So buys above means we want to take buys or look for buys with a break and close above this zone. And then sells, we want to look to take sells with a break and close below this zone, this line. And basically the criteria behind this is these are past zones. These are past support and resistance levels. So if we look at this right here, sells below, this is a past support zone. So if candle comes down and closes below this zone, then we can say, okay, cool, this means this candle right here has done something that all of these candles couldn't do. We have all of these wicks right here. All of these candles were unable to close below this zone. Notice how they broke below the zone, but they did not close. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 candles that rejected that area, not including 6, 7, 8, in the past there. So with that said, that's basically what we're looking for, is a break and close above or a break and close below. So in this case right here, we had this zone right here marked up as, our target area for entry just based on the past. So if we look at, this was like the current resistance that we were looking at. Obviously we broke this, but the reason that I wasn't looking for buys above this zone is because we have another resistance right here. And so the range for this is not big enough. It's only 16 pips. We want to at least trade ranges that are 20 pips plus. Same thing with this zone, this resistance right here. We had another one in the past, right back here. And so same type of thing. This zone is a non-tradable zone. It's only a 6 pip zone. So bringing us to this zone here, we have this, resistance slash support level, and then we have this resistance slash support level here, in which both of them, make a tradable zone here. If we look at the range here, it's 44 pips or so, which obviously is over 20, which makes it a tradable range. And so that's exactly why we're looking at that range. Same type of thing here. This range obviously is a tradable range. So that's why sells would have made sense there. Another reason that sells would have made sense there is simply because prices come up here, created a high for the session, and it has come down, created a support here. So if we saw a break and close below here, then that would mean that, okay, cool, this support level is being broken. It's now turning into a resistance. So we can look for a counter trend trade, to come down to this level. But that's obviously not what happened here. We came up here, we broke and closed above. And if you notice, we just barely broke and closed above this area here. If we look at where I have this line positioned, it's just above these candles. So I knew, because how close that we were to that line, that we were above these past candles. And so if we just move this down here, we can adjust, and okay, cool, we can say 162.589, and we can see that this candle just barely broke and closed above. So with that said, I was looking for an entry after a lower wick was created. So the lower wick was created here, and then I wanted to take an entry as this previous high was broken on the 30-minute candle. So as you can see, the high was broken. Now I also always look at the MT5 spread, the spread from the broker, and make sure that the spread breaks the high too. And that's why the entry is a couple pips later, just because I'm waiting for the spread to break the high. I could take it right as the candle breaks the high, but it's a little bit more risky because the price really hasn't strongly broken the high. So that's why I took the entry right there. And so with that said, if we look at the 15-minute candle, the 15-minute candles, the 15-minute candle that I entered on, just barely closed below like where I entered at. So, I started thinking like, maybe there's not going to be enough volume to push it. And so, as you can see, one, price barely closed above the zone. Two, entry as previous high was broken, so entry as previous candle high was broken. Three, partial stop loss triggered, minus 13 pips. So one thing that I do is, I look at this, okay, cool, 27 pip stop loss, kind of big as noted here. Had I noticed that, before taking the entry, I probably wouldn't have taken it. But I was kind of looking at the stop loss being, 20 pips or so, which I was like, okay, cool, I'm fine with that. 27 pips, a little bit larger than I would like to. I try not to take trades with stop loss greater than 20 pips, to be honest. But 21, 22 pips, it is what it is. It's fine. But 27, obviously, way larger than 20. So I had partial stop loss about half of my drawdown. So 27 divided by 2 is like 13 and a half or something. So 13 pips down, I had partial stop loss, which basically closed 50% of the trade. And the whole idea of this is I want to stop the bleeding as soon as possible. I want to lose less. Because I was trailing my stop loss below the current 15-minute candle, if it broke the low, it was just going to hit my stop loss. I was going to lose the full position. So the partial stop loss here is just mitigating risk. It's going down. Sure, it's creating a lower wick. But it's going down, further than I want to see, and I'm just going to close partials just to reduce, some anxiety on my behalf, So, with that said, the partial stop loss was triggered there. I closed another 50% because the 15-minute low is broken. So the 15-minute low is broken. I always keep my stop loss about 2 pips below the candle. So it's 2 pips below this current 15-minute candle that I entered on. The next one broke the low. Somehow it didn't stop me out. I thought when I looked at my MT5, I thought for sure I'd be stopped out, but I wasn't. And so I just closed another 50% as it had retraced a little bit, just to reduce a little bit more risk. And then as you can see, the next 15-minute candle wicked down, broke the high, and this is ultimately where I should have entered, honestly. This would have been the perfect entry for this move that I was trying to catch here. We have a bullish candle, then we have a weak bearish. We can anticipate a wick down, and then once it breaks the high, that's the perfect entry. And as you can see, this 15-minute candle just went straight to our target here, and rejected the zone that we had marked up, and has since created a support and so on. I might go through, who knows, but we wouldn't want to hold the trade this long, especially through this drawdown. Stop loss would have been hit, etc., etc. So that's exactly why we just trade zone to zone, is because we want the highest probability to have a profitable trade. We don't want to hold it through drawdown and all that mess. So let's just talk about that for a second too. So 163.070, if we go back here, let's see, if we go back here, I need to swap to 30 minutes. So I always draw my zones up based on 30 minute, by the way. So here it is right here. So if we notice, like, here is, like the resistance that we have marked up, I was targeting 163.50 flat. And the reason that I do that, the reason that I target a couple of pips lower than my actual target, I set my TP a couple of pips lower than my actual target, is because a lot of times if you set it as the actual target, it might just barely wick it, and your spread, because of the spreads, it's not going to actually hit it, and therefore, this right here would have rejected, stopped me out at break even, and my runner would have been, stopped out at entry. So because I had it a couple of pips below, 2 pips below, it actually was hit, and I hit the take profit. Take profit was secured. So like I said, this would have been the primal entry here. As the high of the previous 15-minute was broken, and as you can see, it just launched right up to our profit zone, and it was beautiful. Notice the time here too. This is 11:30 a.m. so this is London close. My entry here was 11 a.m. Which is same thing, London close. So that's exactly why I took it later than my normal trading session, is because I knew that I like it's kind of like a golden rule that if price ranges through New York session just like it did, we're going to have some sort of breakout at London close. And that's exactly what happened. Price ranged, from New York open or pre-New York all the way through to New York open. Didn't really see any action there, and then we saw it at London close. So that's why I took the entry after my normal trading session, is because I was already anticipating this when I was shutting the stream down at 9:30 a.m. Cool. So I think I pretty much broke down everything here about this trade. As far as reducing risk, based on my entry here, I think the only thing that I could have done better is I could have waited for, a resistance to form. So basically what I'm saying is I could have waited for the break and close and then a resistance form, and then, take the entry as the resistance is being broken. And this is commonly referred to as a break and retest. So we would have, waited for a candle to break just like it did, and then a retest of the support, and then a break of the resistance that was created here. So that's exactly what happened, and so that's why they call that, a break and retest there. But yeah, so I think like that's the only thing that I could have probably done better about this trade. Obviously I had to reduce some risk as price was retracing. You never know how far it's going to go, and so that's why, I think that waiting for this to happen in the future would have been better. However, the thing is as we know with GJ, sometimes once we have a break and close, it's just going to continue to the target and never does a retest. So that's kind of why, sometimes you just have to take those impulse entries at the high volume time frames, just to make sure that you actually get an entry. So another thing I could have done here is I could have added back positions. So, partial stop loss was triggered as we went 13 pips in drawdown. Another 50% was closed as we broke the previous 15-minute low. Now, the other thing I could have done is I could have added positions back as the lower wick was formed here, and then as the high was broken of the previous candle, I could have added positions back and probably ended up in the trade, with a profit. But because I closed 50% twice, and I just let the rest hit my target, it was still a loss. It was still a losing trade. I just lost less because I closed partials. It was like pretty much a break-even trade. But yeah, so I think I covered everything here. That should cover what it means when it says buys above, and then also kind of how I took this trade, how I could have done better, and so on. So I hope you get some value from this. If you did, make sure you like the video. Make sure you comment, feedback. If there was any questions that you have, comment. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you press subscribe. And I will be back for a live stream tomorrow morning, 6:30 a.m. Eastern Time. See you there.